Recording now. Hello, Claudia King, and welcome to Strategy and Soul Podcast with Danikah Rose Creative. That's me. And today we are going to be talking to this powerhouse of a woman. She is multi-passionate, multi-talented, and does a heap of crazy stuff just like I do. So we don't have a label here, everyone. Whoever's listening today, we are not anti-label. Go ahead and do your thing. But us women, we're just getting out there. So Claudia, you tell us, what do you do?
Oh my God, thank you for having me on, Danikah. Thanks to everybody who's listening. And I hope that you guys are ready to get a fire lit under your booty, because today we have something very exciting for you. But in the question that you just asked me, what do? I feel like this season of my business is really around women empowering and just helping them realize their inner power. So I have a course called like Awaken Your Inner Goddess. Okay. So my whole thing is, how can I help you understand your true power inside of you? And how can you leverage that to reach your goals? So that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I've been doing for the past 3 years. And that's what I'm very passionate about.
It's so cool. And the theme, I guess, if we were going to just bring it in and reel it in and get something that's a bit more succinct, I would love to talk to you today about how you blend your spirituality and your intuition and this empowerment that you have come to realize within your business and for your clients. If we can give some tips to the listeners and some things that they can take away and apply to their business, what do you think would be like your top 3? Let's just get straight to the chase. If you had 3 things that you could just give to these women that are listening right now, using your intuition, finding your power, like what is the crux of your movement?
I love this question so much. This is so important because, like you said, I typically work with 6 and 7 figure and more business owners. So what I tend to notice in the past few years was that what they were working on internally was reflecting on their business.
Mm-hmm.
So excuse me if I stumble upon words, because I am French Canadian. So I have to translate in my head before I
international.
I love
That's all good. There'll be women from all over the world listening to this podcast, so just bring it in with all your languages. I'm speaking English, so we can get some captions on this. It's all good.
I love that. So shout out to everybody from Montreal.
Yo.
But yes, so what I noticed is that, for example, I had a business owner that I was coaching, and he had a $10 million a year business going, and his personal relationships were not going well. I mean, family, friends, lovers, it was really a mess. So guess what department of their business was impacted the most? It was HR, you guys. HR. Mm-hmm. So I started to make correlations between what was going on inside of my clients and what was going in their business. And this is exactly how we made the match between, okay, your inner work reflects on your outer world. So everybody knows that it's like a spiritual law. So if I would give 3 pieces of advice for somebody right now that is thinking of going into business or has a thriving business, and it's like, how do I get through this plateau? Because I just feel like I want to get to the next level, would be really look at the area of your business that's being affected right now the most. Is it cash flow? Is it hiring? Is it even like acquiring a new business? Or what is being affected right now?
And when you say affected, like I'll just quickly interject and be like, let's just define affected, because what that looks like for each individual could be completely different. Like we might have a stall on revenue, we might have confusion, like you said, in the back end or with our staff, and that we're coming up with all this drama, and things can be presented completely differently for each business. So I think, and I'll let you define it. Do you think that this being affected would be the struggle, the sticky, the things that are like that are not flowing? Like, what does that affected look like for you?
That is so important. Like, what I would categorize as affected would be basically if it's not in flow. Yeah. If it's not flowing properly, if you feel resistance, if you feel like it's stagnant, or maybe it's in overdrive.
Yeah. So fair.
Yes, kind of like a chakra. This is how I look at the business, like chakras. So it's like, is it overactive, underactive?
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yeah,
it's
like we
at
can gauge it
peace,
like that. Exactly. You can gauge that.
yes.
How affected am I by this? And as you were saying, your number one tip right now is how is it affected? Which part of your business is the most affected? And let's go and look at
Mhm.
that.
Yes, let's now that we've isolated the problem, we have to kind of figure out, first of all, when you think of this overactive or underactive aspect of your business, where are you feeling it in your body? That's the
Yeah.
number one thing. Because your business, if it's an LLC or if it's incorporated, it's a what I call, and we're going deep already,
It's
you
an
guys. I don't even know it's
entity.
going deep.
Is she gonna say entity? Like, yo.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Soul
the
sisters here.
oh my god, I'm so excited. So this is the thing. It's like your business is an egregore. Okay. So
Mhm.
it's a spiritual being. This is why when you look at it on paper, it actually says it. It says it's a moral entity. It
Yeah. Yeah.
literally says that on your paperwork. So when you look at your business like a moral entity, if it's a sole proprietorship, it's a direct reflection of your being. If
Hmm.
it's a incorporation LLC, then it's a reflection of the owners. If you're 100% business owner of the all of the assets are under your name, then
Yeah.
it's still a reflection of you, even if it's a moral entity. If you have partners, then it might also reflect your partners
Yeah. Yeah.
things.
Because
So this is
everyone's
really
got their
important.
energy, like our energy is invested in our business and the business energy is invested in our life. What are the repercussions? What are we getting back out of it? And the question I always say, what is the payoff? Sometimes that can
Yes.
be super positive. It's like writing that pros and cons list. Like, how is this serving me? Where is it feeling good in my body? And you said, if something's not feeling good in your body, that's where that intuition sort of comes into play. And how did you discover that this using your intuition in business and with your clients, and that just became like a thing for you overnight, or how did it develop?
Well, I mean, I've been in business, online business for I would say 7+ years. So I've tried things, and as a very spiritual person, ever since I was a young person, like I don't know, 3, 4 years old, like I would have like we discussed on our little messenger
Yes.
voice notes, like dreams and premonitions and things like that. Like I would be the person that my family would go to when there's like a birth or a death. Like I would know in advance and like things like
Amazing.
that.
Yep.
So it just made sense. I would say like it came intuitively.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody who's also super analytical. So when I started to do 1+1=2, like how is this that when my clients are expecting, like they're experiencing this problem, it's always related to this part of their life, it started to click. And that's what happens when your both of your brain hemispheres are in sync.
Yeah. Yeah.
When your left brain and your right brain are together, when your feminine masculine are together, you start to make correlations between things that seemingly, when you look at them at a, I would say, very, very face value, like in front of you, you won't be able to make these correlations. But if you take a step back and you look at things from afar as like a beautiful scenery, just like happening in front of you, this is where you're able to make links between things.
I love that. And what are we creating? So I guess that would be tip two. If you're taking a step back and you've located where it already doesn't feel good, then taking that, like that wider scope. And I cannot stress enough how much of a shortcut it is for anybody thinking this is like way too much for me. I'm in over my head. That's where mentors and coaches come in. So you might have this whole and I don't know, there'll be a lot of different people listening. I've got clients from all sorts of industries, brick and mortar, all the rest of it. It just depends on your perception of what you think. So if you think like, oh, if I hired someone, I'm gonna lose that money that I'm investing in that person right now.
Mm.
If you're having that perception that you're looking at it as an investment, and you're like, right, I need someone that can actually move me that 3 steps back so I can have the full visual of the full scope of what is going on with my business. And like you said, the entity, the soul, it has its own energy. And if we're not viewing that from like a really grounded and open place, because sometimes the truth fucking sucks. Like, let's just put this explicit thing on here right now. Sometimes you have to look at a business and go, is this even viable? Like, how can I pivot? Where, and you get that like fear. I've been there. I've done that before in the past. And I thought, you know what, if it's no longer serving me, what does the new creation of what I'm doing? What is that? Like you said, that garden, if you're stepping back and you're looking at it going, well, there's so many weeds and all the flowers are dead.
Oh my
God. Nothing is growing. There's
no
fucking harvest right now. Like, where can I run with this? So we've got to like figure out ways to, and I think if you have tip number 3, what would it be to get to that solution part? We've located it. We've taken a step back. We might have to have help for that. What's next?
Yes. So that's the thing. Now that you know exactly, okay, the first step is awareness. So first step, I'm aware of the problem. Second step, I'm taking a step back, and now I can identify where it comes from. Like, what is the source of it? Not just the symptom, but like the cause. Now that I know that, am I the right person to tackle this? First of all, we have to be very honest with ourselves. If you're trying to figure out like your finances and you're like, I've never had a background in finance or accounting or anything, like, do you need to go and hire someone, like you said? Do you need to go and get a coach because it's something in you that just can't get over that aspect?
And let me just, I love this. I just want to also really clarify. I'm not saying, like, obviously Claudia and I, we're both coaches. This is what we do. We're into business strategy. We've done it for 7-10 years, whatever. I'm not saying that, and Claudia's also not saying it's just a coach that you may need to hire. Like, the whole point here is that it could be a financial advisor. It might be someone that knows how to move your assets around. You might need, like you said, the accountant to shift you to a company instead of a sole trader. And what does that look like? If you're in a bit of legal trouble, you're not a lawyer, bro. Like, you're not gonna, or sis,
get real,
bro, like you're not really going to be able to navigate that without the actual substance behind it, the knowledge that these people have spent years and years cultivating to get to a point where they can assist other people. If you're no good at marketing and you're not getting leads and you don't have clients and people aren't buying your products, what's your website look like? Are you an SEO expert? Are you just wasting hundreds of dollars on Google ads and you don't even know what an ad set is? Like, these are the experts that we're talking about, guys. I'm not like, go and get a coach and then strategy and soul and tune into yourself. It's not all about just the feminine here. It has to have the balance of both of those energies so that, and like Cordy said, your business has to have balance the same way we have to have balance. If you're self-caring yourself and you're not self-caring on that business and loving that business up and investing in that business for what it truly needs, it's not going to elevate. Where are we going with that?
Yes, like you said, you put it so beautifully, Danikah. It's like, is it like, if you see your business like a baby, like, oh, do we need a little bit more food, a little bit more shelter? Oh, are they warm? Are they cold? Like, you really want to be in tune with your business and what it needs right now. And you have to take yourself out of that equation because you are not the business. Even though it reflects you, you are not the business. And sometimes you need help.
Mic drop. Like you said, if anyone's going to take anything away, you are not your business. Your business is not you. It doesn't define you in any way. Even, let's just go back. There will be people listening, I'm so sure of it, that have gone through a failure. Okay, that failure does not define you. That is the stepping stone for you to be able to take on more responsibility. It's like the tower moment where everything's crashing down around you and you're like, oh my God, I'm drowning. Trust me, there is a lighthouse for you. You just have to know how to take out the emotions from it so you can find that lighthouse.
That is so valuable, because a lot of people take things personally. Like, they will be like, oh my God, you do cold calls because you've tried all the things and you
Yeah.
spend thousands of dollars
Or
on
cold
Facebook ads.
emails, like even people
Yeah.
that are like in products and we think, oh, if I just try, like I want to pitch someone for my wholesale account or whatever, like that's all well and
Mhm.
good, but where's the heat in it? Where's the fire? Like if you've got that fire in your
Yes.
belly and that desire and you want to tune into that, doing these like cold forms of marketing, like sometimes it does work, depends on your audience, but if we actually just want to put the fire, like you said, we're going to put a firecracker today and everyone's going to be
Oh,
shot off like a rocket. We are talking about scaling businesses in a way that's in alignment with you. So if you love to not have that hot approach and you don't want to go and like directly meet face to face with someone, it might take you a little bit longer. But if that's your strategy, it's going to be flowing because that's your alignment. There is no
yes.
blueprint here. Every business has its own blueprint, and like what we're saying, and I'm so excited. So I'm like, oh, ha ha, high pitch. And we're going to censor a lot of this, guys, because it's so important to know there's so many women out there that are passionate about helping you with your business, and you're totally not alone. And what I'm
Oh my
saying is
God, yes.
like, your business isn't you. That's what
Yeah.
we've kind of come to that conclusion. So when you're investing in it and you're looking at it from that place of, oh, this is a gift. How can I nurture this gift? How can
Yeah.
I get more heat around it? And like, yeah, a baby, you don't want to leave it out in the cold. What is necessary right now might not be you being the blueprint. Got chills, but like your business has its own blueprint, and so do you. The way that you run your business. And I am so into like CEO energy. That's one of my main, I love talking to women and being like, yeah, just delegate that. Just find someone that actually knows what to do so that you're not the one that's doing the all of it. You don't want to get to that like burnt out, overwhelmed. Oh my God, there's so many things on my plate. Find the
You would
expert.
be surprised. So many people, the best business owners are not the ones that are the best at everything.
Yeah.
So if you look at like the top 10 most successful business in North America, for example, or in the world right now, it's people who know how to find people that know stuff.
Yeah.
They know
Yeah.
how to
So true.
delegate.
So true.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people, when they get started with their businesses, they want to do it all. It's like, and of course, for a little time, you might have to go through that
Yeah.
phase until
Let's
you
be
get like your first
realistic.
100 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when you scale to 1 million, it's different. You need to be able to find who are the key people that know what they're doing, and that's going to get you faster into the next level of your business. So
Yeah.
once you're at that level, then you got to make the shift from, oh my God, let me do it. I want to
It's
do it
better
right,
if
so I'm
I
going to
do
do it
it.
myself.
Exactly. Like
Yes.
it's so much easier if I just do it because then I don't have to communicate. But like, yeah, getting to that level where, and there'll be small business owners. And of course, let's not downplay the hustle that has to happen. Like
That's
this
the
whole,
thing.
I made this amount overnight. It's possible when we quantum leap. It's possible and when I say quantum leap, what I mean is you can collapse time by taking aligned action faster. The longer you
Yes.
delay this action that's actually pushing you, and that's the flow, you feel it in your body and you're like, yes, I need to go down this path right now. The longer you delay that and you make excuses and we find other triggers and wounds and we're not doing the work. When we say doing the work, what do we mean by that? We mean, like we're saying, exactly the same process that we're describing right now. We're locating it. We're looking at it from a further away perspective, and we're finding people that can help. If we're not going to help ourselves, we have to find someone else. So, this has been so wild and I love it. I hope that like, I don't want to like keep these episodes really super long, so I'll probably wrap it up. But if you have a pitch or you've got something that's coming up for you in 2023, that's when this is launching. And I'm so excited to bring the Strategy and Soul podcast to all these women worldwide. And what do you want to finish up with, Claudia?
Oh my God, I'm so excited, you guys. I hope that this is the fire that you needed for your day. And you're like, you know what? I actually got this. Like, I just need to distance myself from the problem or whatever's going on. And I need to scale now. So if that helped you, like, I want you to leave a comment on this podcast, like at 5-note ratings. You guys know that podcast thrives on the 5-note ratings. So please help my girl Danikah out.
Oh,
And
thanks.
in terms of pitch, I mean, it depends where you're at in your business. right now, as we're speaking, in January, I have a program called Passion to Prosperity. That's more for people that have mastered a certain aspect of their life. Like they know a lot of stuff, but they don't know how to package it in order to sell it. So I would say more beginner level of like, okay, let me actually do something with all that beautiful knowledge I have inside of me, and let me turn that into money making opportunities.
Yeah, so we got offer creation and monetizing. I love it.
Yes. And if you're like, no, I'm actually at the next level, I want to scale, and you're a spiritual based entrepreneur, like I'm saying, you want to integrate spirituality in your business, then just follow our group on Facebook, Spiritually Inclined Entrepreneurs. And we are doing that all day, every day, all the beautiful content. And we'll be sharing this podcast in there.
Yeah, I love it so much. And I love your group as well. It's got such a, like, I don't know, it has a presence, I must say. Yeah. There's a lot of groups that you can join on Facebook and stuff. So, and what was the name of it again? If anyone wants to write this down, grab a pen.
Yes. So the tagline is Spiritually Inclined, but you can also type in Spiritually Inclined Entrepreneurs, and our website is thespirituallyinclined.com.
Perfect. I always love it when something gets repeated on a podcast, because I get tripped up and I'm like, quick, no, wait, go back. So this is Claudia King, the amazing woman. We don't label it too much. Danikah Rose Creative. I've also got a ton of things going on, but right now this is strategy and soul. And thank you so much for listening. I hope that this actually landed and you got out of it what you wanted to. So take care. Thanks, Claudia.
Thank you.